read something a little bit different. I'm gonna do just a couple chapters of it, and then I'll read a couple chapters each day. This is a new-ish series to our library. It's called the Chicken Squad. This particular one is called Gimme Shelter by Doreen Cronin. This is read with permission of Simon & Schuster. Gimme Shelter, Misadventures and Misinformation. Introductions. Neighbors. Search and rescue dogs make great neighbors. We mind our own business, we're dependable, and we come in handy if you ever get lost in the woods. Chickens, on the other hand, are highly questionable. They get up too early, they squawk all day, and they have entirely too much time on their hands, which is never good for anybody. These four are no exception. Dirt, short, yellow, fuzzy. Real name, Peep. Specialty, foreign languages, math, colors, computer codes. Sugar, short, yellow, fuzzy. Real name, Little Boo. Specialty, breaking and entering, interrupting. Poppy, short, yellow, fuzzy. Real name, Poppy. Specialty, sugarology. We'll explain later. Sweetie, short, yellow, fuzzy. Real name, Sweet Coconut Louise. Specialty, none that I can see. Where did you get all that stuff? I ask, annoyed at the crowd in and around my water bowl. Over there, said Sugar, pointing her wing in no particular direction. Over where exactly? I ask. Garage sale, answered Sugar. Garbage, answered Sweetie. Squirrels, answered Poppy. No comment, answered Dirt, avoiding eye contact. Like I said, way too much time on their hands. My name is John Joseph Tully, JJ for short. I was a search and rescue dog for 7 years, but my days of dangerous missions and daring rescues are behind me. If you like to play with chickens, they're all yours. And if a couple of kids come by looking for their stuff, point them towards Sugar and tell them that chickens come free with clothes. Chapter 1. A little help here! Sugar yelled impatiently from the bottom of the hole in the yard. The hole was twice as tall as she was, and 3 times as wide. Hello! She leaned on her shovel and waited. A squirrel leaned in and dropped an acorn on her head. Sugar threw it back. Ouch! Dirt's face appeared at the top of the hole. What are you doing down there, Sugar? And why are you throwing acorns at me? What does it look like I'm doing? Sugar asked. It looks like you threw an acorn on me and fell into a hole, Dirt replied, leaning in closer. For your information, I didn't fall into this hole. I dug it myself. Wait a minute. Is that one of Barbara's spoons? Asked Dirt, leaning in closer still. Look for yourself, Sugar replied, holding the spoon close enough for Dirt to touch, and then nudging her right into the ladle. Hey, said Dirt as Sugar tipped her out at the bottom of the hole. What'd you do that for? I couldn't get out of the hole on my own, and I am 100% confident that you will get us out of here. That would have been a lot easier to do from up there, said Dirt, brushing herself off. Now we have to wait for Poppy or Sweetie to get us out. I'm not going to lie, said Sugar. My confidence just dropped to about 37%. I have an idea, said Dirt. Are you thinking that you climb into the spoon and I launch you out of here so you can find a rope long enough to pull me out of the hole? No, said Dirt. I'm thinking if we lean the spoon at just the right angle, we might be able to climb up the hand. Hey, Poppy, I found them, called Sweetie. They're digging a hole for a pool. And there's a slide. Sweetie leapt into the air and she slid down the handle of the spoon on her behind. Whee! It's not yelled Sugar. Sweetie landed with a thud, flipping the spoon right out of the hole. Pool, finished Sugar. Wow, said Sweetie. I thought that'd be more fun, but I'm sure it'll be way better when Poppy gets here with the floaties. What? Asked Dirt and Sugar. Whee! Poppy's fluffy yellow body blocked the sun as it flew into the hole and landed on top of them. Worst pool ever, mumbled Sweetie from the bottom of the pile. Chapter 2. For the last time, Sugar protested as she stood balanced atop Poppy, Dirt, and Sweetie. This is not a pool! Sugar then pulled herself up over the edge of the non-pool. What is it then? Dirt asked as Sugar then reached down for Poppy and pulled her out. Poppy held on to Sugar's legs as she reached down further into the hole for Dirt. And then Dirt held Poppy, who held Sugar, who reached farther still for Sweetie. It's a storm shelter, answered Sugar, lowering her voice, to keep us safe. Is there a big storm coming? Poppy snuggled up close to Sweetie. There's always a storm coming, kid, replied Sugar. I've been watching those cuddly kids next door, and they've been moving all kinds of things into their garage. A little bit every day. They know something is coming. And now I know something is coming too. Really? All the yellow drained from Poppy's face. I've already checked the weather report for today, Poppy, Dirt said reassuringly. There are no storms in the forecast at all. Maybe not today. Maybe not here, announced Sugar. But mark my words, kids. Somewhere in the world, a storm is brewing at this very moment. Is that true? Poppy cried out. Sort of, explained Dirt reluctantly, shooting Sugar a dirty look. Storms happen when warm, moist air meets up with cool air. And well, there's a lot of air warming and cooling around the planet pretty much all the time. So yes, there is probably a storm brewing somewhere in the world right now. That is exactly what I just said, Sugar remarked. It really isn't, said Dirt. Listen, whether it strikes today or tomorrow or next week, doesn't matter, said Sugar. What matters is that we are prepared for it. There is absolutely no way to know when a storm will strike. Poppy jumped into Sweetie's arms. Actually, scientists can watch storms as they develop and track them very closely by satellite and radar, explained Dirt, unfolding Poppy's legs one at a time and coaxing him back to the ground. Wow, I want to be a scientist, said Sweetie. They know all kinds of things. You'd make an excellent meteorologist, Sweetie, suggested Dirt. What's a meteorologist? Asked Sweetie. A person who studies meteors, kid, said Sugar. Pay attention. Actually, said Dirt, writing the word in her notebook, meteo is Greek for from the atmosphere. An ologist is a suffix that means someone who studies something. So a meteorologist is a person who studies the weather. Because weather comes from the atmosphere, said Sweetie. Exactly. Lots of words we use today actually come from Greek or Latin, continued Dirt. It seems like an awful lot of work just to say weatherman, said Sugar. Weather meaning weather and man meaning man. You mean weather person, added Poppy. Actually, Dirt is on to something, said Sugar, ignoring Poppy's remark. Whether it strikes today or tomorrow or next week doesn't matter. What matters is we are prepared, and this meteor shelter will help keep us prepared. And there is actually no way to predict when a meteor will strike. What's a meteor? asked Sugar. A meteor is a rock from outer space, Dirt explained. It's very rare for a meteor to crash into Earth. Most of the time, it simply burns up long before it reaches the ground. Like I said, space rocks are hard to predict, said Sugar. Poppy and Sweetie waited for Dirt to reply. Sugar might be right about that, said Dirt. So why don't we just stay in the shelter all the time so we'll always be safe? Said Poppy. That's no way to live, kid, said Sugar. Sugar's right, said Dirt. You have to be out in the world with all its risks and unpredictability in order to live a full life. No, I meant that a small hole with too many chickens, that is absolutely no way to live, said Sugar. Now that you mention it, that hole isn't really big enough for everybody, remarked Dirt. JJ is definitely not going to fit in there. Listen, kid, you can't have a dog in a meteor shelter, said Sugar. Why not? Asked Poppy. Dogs are notorious for making people angry, Sugar answered. Dogs are actually notorious for providing comfort and unconditional love, said Dirt. Why wouldn't you want one in a meteor shelter? Flatulence, declared Sugar. What does flatulence mean? Asked Poppy. It's Latin for who cut the cheese, replied Sugar. What about Mom? Asked Sweetie, her voice cracking. I don't think that she's going to fit in the shelter either. Moms are notorious for making people angry too, answered Sugar. What? Asked Dirt. Why? Gulped Sweetie. Same reason, answered Sugar. It's unbearable. I've never heard that, said Dirt, her hands on her hips now. Sometimes they're silent, exclaimed Sugar. That's not what I meant, cried Dirt, now standing directly in front of Sugar. Who exactly is this shelter going to protect? Right now, just us. Although, to be honest, it's really only comfortable for 3, so in case of meteor, last one there's a rotten egg. Sugar, if you want to build a storm meteor shelter, that's fine, I guess. But it really should be big enough for everyone. Every man, woman, and child for themselves, said Sugar. It's in the United States Constitution. Poppy and Sweetie waited for Dirt to reply. That is absolutely not in the United States Constitution, declared Dirt. But this does seem like the kind of thing we should vote on. Good idea, said Sweetie. That's a terrible idea, Sweetie, said Sugar. Where in the world did you get such a terrible idea, Dirt? The United States Constitution, replied Dirt. That is absolutely not in the Constitution, said Sugar. Poppy and Sweetie waited for Dirt to reply. It absolutely is, replied Dirt. Fine, sighed Sugar. Great, said Dirt. We'll all take some time to think it through. We'll schedule a debate, and then we'll vote. Agreed? Agreed, declared Sweetie. Agreed, said Poppy. Agreed, said Sugar. That is the end of Chapter 2. That's what we'll be looking for in the next video. Gimme Shelter, Misadventures and Misinformation by Doreen Cronin.